The day many high-profile figures may have been dreading has happened, as dozens of big names have been revealed in the first wave of documents which could ultimately name over 170 individuals with links to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Only 40 of an expected 250 documents have been released so far, but Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Stephen Hawking, Donald Trump and Michael Jackson are already among the names made public. Many of these figures are not accused of any illegality, however, but there is still a shocking development in the long-running torrid saga surrounding Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Here is everything you need to know about the leaked court documents. Let's start with the first question. Why have these been released now? Jeffrey Epstein was a convicted sex offender and financier who was arrested in 2019 on sex trafficking charges but took his own life behind bars while awaiting trial. For years, he worked with his associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, a British socialite who was convicted in 2021 for offences including child sex trafficking, helping him target and abuse young women and girls. She's now serving a 20-year sentence in a US prison, from which last year she exclusively told TalkTV she wished she'd never met Epstein. And these newly released documents are actually connected to a 2015 lawsuit against her by one of Epstein's alleged and most well-known victims, Virginia Dufresne. Dufresne's name has consistently hit the headlines due to her claims that Epstein and Maxwell forced her to have sex with Prince Andrew in 2001. The Duke of York strongly denies all allegations and has always denied ever meeting Miss Dufresne. He settled a civil lawsuit for millions with her in 2022, but his name is back in the spotlight in these new documents. The judge who decided to release them said it was because much of the information was already public, but includes one bombshell claim Prince Andrew allegedly had an underage sex orgy on Epstein's private island in the US Virgin Islands. An accuser known only as Jane Doe 3 said she was forced to have sexual relations with this prince when she was a minor in 3 separate geographical locations. These were allegedly Ghislaine Maxwell's London flat, New York, and Epstein's island. It goes on to say Jane Doe 3 was ordered to give the prince whatever he demanded, and how Maxwell facilitated Prince Andrew's acts of sexual abuse by acting as a madame for Epstein. The Duke of York has always denied any wrongdoing, and Maxwell claims he only visited Epstein's island once. It's not the only time Prince Andrew's name is mentioned in the documents, though. A woman named Johanna Sjoberg claimed the Duke of York touched her breast while sitting on a couch inside the US billionaire's Manhattan apartment in 2001. Sjoberg also alleges that at the same time, Maxwell pulled out a caricature puppet of Prince Andrew, which was used to touch Virginia Dufresne's breast. This claim had already been made public, and Buckingham Palace has previously said the allegations are categorically untrue. But Johanna Sjoberg is at the centre of one of the most shocking new claims around former US President Bill Clinton. Sjoberg says she was recruited aged 20 to work as a massage therapist for Epstein and was forced to perform sex acts on him. And in 2016, she told lawyers Epstein allegedly told her, quote, "Clinton likes them young," referring to girls. This is the only mention of such comments, and there's no suggestion Clinton engaged in sex with underage girls. The former president has previously said he knew nothing of Epstein's crimes during their friendship and had not been in contact with him for nearly 20 years. There are some reports that Clinton is mentioned around 50 times in the documents, but is not accused of any illegality. Perhaps one of the more surprising names released this week is that of the late theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking. In a 2015 email, Epstein suggested that Virginia Dufresne had made sensational claims involving Bill Clinton and the British physicist, which suggested Hawking had participated in an underage orgy. In the email, Epstein told Maxwell that she could offer money to friends of Dufresne if they could help prove these accusations were false. The email reads as follows: "You can issue a reward to any of Virginia's friends, acquaintance, family that come forward and help prove her allegations are false. The strongest is the Clinton dinner, and the new version in the Virgin Islands that Stephen Hawking participated in an underage orgy. The professor was photographed visiting Epstein's island on a science conference trip in 2006, but there is no suggestion of any wrongdoing. Bill Clinton isn't the only former US president named, with Donald Trump also appearing in the documents. Again, it comes from Joanna Sjoberg, who told lawyers that on one occasion, when Epstein could not land his plane in New York, they were diverted to Atlantic City. She claims he then suggested calling Trump on arrival, with Epstein allegedly saying, "Great, we'll call up Trump and we'll go to, I don't recall the name of the casino, but we'll go to the casino." Trump has previously distanced himself from Epstein, and there is no suggestion of any wrongdoing on his part. Finally, one of the most famous names mentioned in these documents is the late singer and so-called king of pop, Michael Jackson. In a May 2016 interview under oath, Sjoberg was asked if she had met any famous people while with Epstein, and she claimed she had met Jackson. However, while she claims she met the singer at Epstein's Palm Beach mansion, she confirmed she never massaged Jackson and the relationship was not sexual. For those eagerly awaiting the release of these documents ever since it was announced last year, this could feel like a disappointment. Much of what has been released was already known, and few have been accused of any illegality. But even being associated with Epstein's name can be an uncomfortable position to be in, and with hundreds more documents still to be released, this is a story which may not be near its end.